All right, welcome back. Let's continue that conversation on the PDP. I'm now being joined on the program by JIDE, a political affairs analyst who joins us via Skype from Abuja. Mr. Ojo, thank you very much for joining us on the program. First off, let me ask you, I was talking with a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party earlier, and of course we were talking about the challenge that lies ahead for the party when it comes to choosing its presidential candidate, where the ticket will be zoned to, and he gave the impression that it's been agreed that there is, well, some semblance of agreement within the party that the presidential ticket of the party will be zoned to the south. I mean, did you get that impression when you watched events at the national convention that took place recently? And from your own observation of things, would you say that the party has reached that conclusion that it will be zoning its presidential ticket to the south?
Well, I don't know where the chieftain got that information, because last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, if you look at the Eagle Square venue of the convention, those who have posters on display were all northerners, from Atiku Abubakar to which other one, Bukola Saraki and the likes. Not even one Igbo person, not one Yoruba person, not one South person, as is flag on display. Even the former President Goodluck Jonathan was unavoidably absent. And I really didn't get that impression that they are zoned to the south. I recall watching an interview of Kawu Baraji, Alhaji Kawu Baraji, former chairman of PDP, saying that they actually agreed that, one, irrespective of where the chairman of the party comes from, does not preclude that same zone or the region from contesting the presidential election. That was the much I got from his interview. That's Alhaji Kawu Baraji. But if there was a caucus meeting where this zoning to the south was agreed upon,
that we're not
I would say it's a welcome development. If that has been agreed upon, it's a welcome development, because zoning the presidency to the north at this point in time by PDP would be like shooting itself in the foot.
But let me just point out one thing very clearly. There is no caucus meeting where the PDP met, or even the governors met and decided that they were going to be zoning the ticket to. So that meeting has not happened. What you said earlier is actually what the situation is, that the ticket will be thrown open.
So given that agreement, it then shows that it will be a gamble to think that power will be ceded to the south. But like I said, if PDP should ultimately decide to zone the party presidential ticket to the north, it will be going against its own zoning arrangement. It will be going against its own doctrine of inclusion, political inclusion, and federal character principle.
So do you think this is going to be a difficult nut for the PDP to crack, especially the incoming NWC now? How do you think this is a potential banana peel for the party?
It is. It is much of a banana peel, but it's not something that is insurmountable. PDP, having conducted its convention, is saying that APC should start writing the handover notes and should be ready to leave in 2023. It's not going to be that easy. But the only way that PDP can have a shot, or a fair shot at the presidency, or a fair shot at winning the presidency in 2023, is if it zones the party presidential ticket to the south. Why did I say so? If you look at the number of states controlled by PDP in the south, they are more than the states that they control in the north. Take for instance, 2 out of the states in the south east is controlled by PDP. Then you look at South-South, I think it's five out of 6. Although with the defection of what now? Ayade.
Ayade, okay.
No, Ayade. I'm
Okay.
talking of South.
Okay, South. Yeah.
With the defection of Ayade, yes, I think Ayade is the only APC governor in the South now. Now
Yes.
that Obaseki has crossed over to PDP. So 5 plus 2 in the Southeast, making 7, plus 1 in the Southwest, which is Oyo, making 8. And they are in control of 13 states. So the entire North, they only have 5. So if we go by that calculation, PDP is still more popular in the South than it is in the North. So it will be in the enlightened best interest of PDP to zone the ticket to the South.
But don't you think it's instructive? I mean, just as you pointed out that at that national convention, we didn't see any, any statement of intent from anybody, any potential candidate from the South.
That was deliberate. You see, they possibly are when they are surveying the situation and didn't want to jump into the fray, and they preferred back channel negotiation before they will come out in the open. What you saw on display on last weekend in Abuja is just like, like you put it, statement of intent. And the time is not yet right for people to put themselves forward as a potential candidate. If you do that, which is almost like a year ahead of the time you should be having party primaries and nomination, you may burn out. You may burn out. And that is a lot of resources to even start doing campaigns. You recall, just imagine the sheer resources that someone like Yaya Bello of Kogi State must have spent on his presidential aspiration, asking his foot soldiers to go to South, to go to all parts of Nigeria to start wooing potential supporters and all of that. And so if you don't have a deep pocket and you start this presidential race too early, there is a tendency for you to burn out financially and even in terms of other resources. So I will not take the fact that there is no Southerner putting up posters last weekend at the convention of PDP as a sign that the Southerners are not interested in contesting the presidency of 2023.
Finally, let me ask you this before I let you go. You look at the way things are in the PDP, whether we like it or not, and even this chieftain of the People's Democratic Party actually confirmed it. The governors are effectively in control of the affairs of the party now. They got their way in the convention, so they are very much in control. Do you think this is going to be some kind of problem, some kind of a problem now for the party? Because you still have some very powerful people who are not governors, who are still there in the party, and whether you like it or not, they command very huge following as well, and they are quite powerful as well. But now you have the governors effectively in control of the party.
Well, at DEJI, my own take is that it's not even yet Uhuru for Yochahayu led National Working Committee. They are just elected. They have not been inaugurated, and from what I read,
they'll be inaugurated in December.
In December, on December 9. I think the last NWC will still be in office till December 9. So people like Kolo Ologbondiyo and the rest of them will still be in office up until December 9. But having said that, you should not ignore the threat made by Prince Uche Secondus to take his fight against the convention to the Supreme Court. You can never really predict how Supreme Court will look at this issue. Because from my own layman's opinion, the man was unfairly treated. He was elected for a 4-year term. What was done, the kind of impeachment, if you can call it, Is it supported by any constitutional provision in PDP? Why was he singled out? Has he been found culpable of any misappropriation or gross misconduct as to be able to justify his removal prematurely? Was he given fair hearing, even if he was alleged to have conducted any gross misconduct? These are things that Uche Secondus will take to the...
And we also cannot rule out the possibility of some people who are not too satisfied with the way the National Convention went. Some of them may surreptitiously begin to provide support for Uche Secondus.
Exactly. So, because if you look at the Congress, particularly in 8 states, that was held ahead of that convention, in some of the states, it's too cold for comfort. For instance, in Osun and even in Oyo, for instance, there are two parallel congresses for waterlands, one by the governor's camp, Governor Seyi Makinde's camp, and the other by Honorable Mulikat Adeola Akonde, former majority leader. So you need to close rank and make sure that you have a unified party. That's the work of the work of reconciliation, and that reconciliation needs to start with Uche Secondus. It will be better for the party to get him to abandon his decision to challenge the party's unfair treatment of him at the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court is not predictable. And should the Supreme Court rule that in favor of Uche Secondus, then the entire thing that has been built around the election of Dr. Iyochaayu will come crashing like a pack of cars. So reconciliation is very key. And it will start with Uche Secondus. They need to negotiate with him, whatever it will take, appeal to his emotion, and see how they can give him soft landing so that the issue will be settled out of court. That would be a first step. The second step is to reconcile all the warring factions across the state, where there are congresses and there are parallel, because what's affecting APC is affecting PDP. It's just that the APC one is more than what obtains with PDP. And obviously because APC is a ruling party.
It's a ruling party, yes.
And I foresee a situation where APC itself will implode ahead of 2023. And many of those who are chieftains of APC today may still seek refuge under the umbrella of PDP, because that's the only other national party that has pertinent to the election.
All right. JIDE Ojo, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for your contributions.
My pleasure always. Enjoy your work.
Thank you. I will take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.